You're listening to an African Elements top news story for April 7th, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Altadena rebuilding, developers and displacement risks. After the devastating Eaton fire swept through Altadena, destroying over 9,400 homes, a different kind of threat emerged from the ashes. Within just 1 month, 14 properties in the burn zone were sold. Worryingly, half of those sales, 7 properties, went straight to developers and investors, some even international buyers. This rapid acquisition signals a concerning trend for the community's character and future. These aren't just regular home sales either. Developers are swooping in with aggressive tactics, often paying far above asking prices with cash offers. For instance, one vacant lot listed at $450,000 reportedly sold for $550,000 in cash. Such actions effectively sideline residents trying to rebuild their lives, particularly impacting the significant Black homeowner population. Ultimately, this influx of luxury development threatens to transform Altadena, potentially displacing long-term residents and eroding the community's unique identity. For Altadena families who lost everything in the Eaton fire, the dream of rebuilding is hitting a harsh financial wall. Insurance payouts, meant to be a lifeline, are often falling drastically short of what it actually costs to reconstruct a home today. One homeowner, for example, received $600,000 from their insurance policy, but estimates to rebuild their home soared to $1.2 million. This gap isn't just a few $1,000s, it's often hundreds of thousands, leaving families in an impossible position. Local builders confirm this reality, estimating that the true cost to rebuild is frequently double what insurance companies allocate. Faced with such shortfalls, families must make agonizing choices. They can either take on significant debt to bridge the gap or sell their land, often to the very developers waiting to capitalize on their hardship. This financial pressure disproportionately affects working-class families and communities of color, consequently making it easier for outside investors to reshape the neighborhood. What's happening in Altadena isn't just bad luck. It's a pattern called post-disaster gentrification. This is when a crisis, like a wildfire, creates an opening for wealthy developers and investors to buy up damaged properties cheaply. They often rebuild expensive housing or businesses that cater to affluent newcomers, pushing out the original residents, especially low-income families and communities of color. This process takes advantage of vulnerability, accelerating inequality, and fundamentally changing the character of a neighborhood. This tactic, sometimes called the shock doctrine, has played out before in places like New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina and Maui after its recent devastating fires. The fear in Altadena is that the community, known for its significant Black population and high homeownership rate, 81% Black homeownership, could be revitalized into a wealthier, whiter area. Compounding the issue are reports of post-fire price gouging on rental sites like Zillow, putting even more pressure on displaced residents. Therefore, community vigilance is high, drawing lessons from past tragedies. In the face of developer speculation, Altadena residents and allies are fighting back with innovative community land banking strategies. One key player is the Green Line Housing Foundation, acting as a nonprofit land bank. Instead of letting properties fall into the hands of speculators, Green Line is actively purchasing lots to hold them for community benefit and prevent the construction of more luxury housing. They demonstrated this commitment by acquiring a 6,800 square feet lot for $520,000, specifically to counter developer interest. This approach aligns with the principles of community land trusts, CLTs, which prioritize collective benefit over private profit and aim for development without displacement. Alongside Greenline, community groups like Altadena are working tirelessly to connect displaced residents with crucial resources and alternative housing options. Furthermore, residents are exploring creative solutions like pooling resources to buy blocks of land cooperatively, potentially partnering with select developers who align with community goals. Researchers even suggest that impact investors could play a role, potentially covering critical funding gaps in rebuilding costs. A major infusion of support has arrived to bolster fire zone nonprofit housing efforts in Altadena. The newly formed Altadena Builds Back Foundation, operating under the Pasadena Community Foundation, has launched with an impressive $55 million fund. This foundation represents a significant community-led initiative aimed squarely at ensuring an equitable recovery process. Its core strategies include continuing land banking efforts, promoting affordable modular housing solutions, and providing vital support for tenants displaced by the fire. Critically, The foundation prioritizes assisting the most vulnerable populations, such as renters and those who were formerly unhoused before the disaster. It also plans to fund the development of accessory dwelling units, ADUs, or granny flats, which can offer crucial transitional housing options. This funding arrives at a pivotal moment, offering resources to protect Altadena's social fabric and its notable 81% Black homeownership rate. Consequently, alongside financial aid, the need for civil rights legal advice to counter predatory practices remains a key part of the community's strategy. Copyright African Elements.